and welcome to Excelerate, your go to spot for mastering Excel like a pro. Whether you're just starting out or looking to sharpen your skills, we have got you covered. In today's episode, we are diving into one of the most powerful tools of Excel called logical functions. Have you ever found yourself needing to make decisions based on specific conditions? Maybe you're managing a team and need to flag employees who have met their sale targets or determine which student passed based on multiple criteria. It's a lot to keep a track of. Well, Excel's logical functions like if, and, or are here to simplify this for you, helping you make complex decisions quickly and accurately. Let's dive into how these functions work. What are logical functions? When you talk about logical functions, they function and test conditions in Excel. These functions help you make decisions and return either true or false based on certain criteria. So, there are three types of logical functions that I spoke about. Let's understand what each of these functions do. If function. This function evaluates a condition and returns one value if it's true and another value if it's false. And function, this checks if all conditions are true and returns true if all conditions are met, otherwise false. What does or condition do? This function checks if any of the condition is true. It returns true if at least one condition is met, otherwise false. You can even combine these functions to create more complex formulas. For example, using and or inside of if statement for dynamic decision making. Now let's apply this in a practical example. Imagine you're managing employee performance in a company. All right. You've got a list of employees along with the sales targets and their actual sales. You want to figure out if each employee met their targets. How are you going to do that? So, firstly, I'll start off with entering a simple data set. So, the first would be employee. Then we have sales target and actual target. And now I'm just going to make this bold. Employee name John. He has a target of 1000. Let's say he achieved 1100. Then we have Sarah. She has a target of 1500 and let's say she achieved 1200. And lastly, David 900 and he achieved 950. Here we have our sample data. To check if employee met their sales targets, we'll use the if function. Okay. Let's give the heading as sales target. Now I'm going to start off with equal to if. So I want to compare two things here, actual and sales target. If actual target is greater than what the target was set, obviously he's achieved the target. Otherwise, he's not. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say C2, if C2 is greater than or equal to B2, then target achieved. If this is not the scenario, I wanted to return target not achieved. Simple. So what did this function do? It went and compared these two values in C2 and B2. And if it is exceeding the actual sales target set and it is greater than the sales target, it is returning target achieved. So that was our first condition that we checked using if. Now let's say the employees not only need to meet their sales target but also need to have a customer satisfaction score of at least 80% to qualify for a bonus. Here what we will do is add the customer satisfaction score I'll say this was 85, 75, and 95. I basically want to give somebody a bonus, or I want this data, this function to check if they've achieved both the target and they have the satisfaction score of more than 80. They need to get a bonus. They need to get a particular award. So I'll say equal to if and use and function, because and function checks two conditions that are true and returns the value that you put here. So basically, I will say C2 greater than or equal to D2. This basically checks our sales target is achieved or not. And then I also wanted to check customer satisfaction is greater than or equal to 80. If yes, then I want to say bonus. Else, I wanted to return no bonus. Okay, I missed adding a closing bracket here, so I'm just going to do that and here. So I have and function to compare two conditions. Okay. Now let's test one more condition. Let's say that the employees are eligible for a special reward if they meet either sales target or have customer satisfaction score of at least 80%. So any of one of these two, either the target has to be achieved or the customer satisfaction should be more than 80%. Then they get a reward. So for reward, I'm going to say equal to if or C2 is greater than equal to B2, or if this satisfies, then you get a reward, or if D2 is greater than equal to 80, then close the bracket, reward, no reward. So this is how you can use a lot of Excel functions to derive at complex decisions and use multiple conditions. When you have so many conditions, you might get confused. So this basically simplifies everything for you. Okay. So you've just learned how you can make your Excel faster and smarter to make your decisions for you. Now it's your turn to practice. I will give you a couple of exercises that you can go ahead and practice. So first exercise would be create a data set of 10 employees, including sales target, actual sales, and customer satisfaction. Use if, and or to determine who met their targets and who's eligible for bonuses. The second exercise could be use the AND function to identify employees who have exceeded both sales and customer satisfaction targets. Use or to create reward eligibility formula based on either meeting the sales target or achieving high customer satisfaction score. Now that you have learned logical functions with Excel, you know how exactly you can use these functions to make your Excel smarter, faster, and accurate to quickly arrive at your decisions. Remember, Excel isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about making smarter decisions every day. Okay. Keep practicing. Soon you'll be using Excel's logical function like a pro. See you all in the next lesson of Accelerate. Cheers.